Silver and Blue Huddle is back, and we actually got a lot to talk about. We actually got a trade to talk about. We got the week 1 predictions coming up. Finally, football is coming up, and I can be more excited. I know we got college football today, which is actually Saturday, but I cannot wait till we fast forward to Thursday to where we got some Cowboys versus Eagles. The NFL season doesn't really begin until the Cowboys actually play. So luckily, it's actually going to be starting off right away because the Cowboys got game number 1 against the defending champions in Philadelphia, unfortunately. But I would take a game going up in Philly in August versus going in December when we actually got to try to win. But I'm excited. Football is back. Got my man Expert Corner as well. So amazing to probably make the next podcast. But we got a lot to talk about. So should we just go ahead and jump right into the elephant in the room and talk about Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones? What a trade, blockbuster trade. I didn't really expect it to actually happen. I thought maybe it's going to come to terms with Micah Parsons and stuff like that, and they were just going to sell it out before we hit the plane on Philly. But, hey, something happened, and we traded him away. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. I didn't think that we were going to trade Micah. I figured this was just part of the back and forth between the Cowboys owner and another player. I mean, we've seen this with CeeDee Lamb. We've seen it with Dak Prescott. This was not new to us as Cowboy fans, but obviously when you get two prideful individuals like a Micah Parsons and a Jerry Jones kind of going back and forth, this just became, the ultimate pissing match. And Jerry drew the line in the sand, right? He said, listen, I offered him a contract. I offered him 5 years, $40.5 million a year, over $200 million. I offered him a ton of guaranteed money, actually more guaranteed money than the Packers gave him. And basically said we shook hands on it. This was the deal. And then between Micah and his agent basically told Jerry Jones, take that offer and, shove it. And from that point on, it just kind of went downhill from there. And I think Jerry Jones kind of sat back, him even kind of looked at it and said, okay, we got to make a decision and we got to do it, right? And so obviously there's no movement here. We don't want a disgruntled player on our team going into week 1. We don't want him playing. I mean, obviously they told him after that, play on the 5th year, and then we'll talk to you after Micah wasn't going to do that. So I think he made the best decision for the Dallas Cowboys, which was let's see what we can do for him. And so they go and get Kenny Clark. They get 2 first-round picks from the Green Bay Packers, ship him off to Green Bay, who makes Green Bay instantly makes them a better defense. But it sounds crazy when I say this to people, but it makes the Cowboys a better defense too when you look at it. Because when we went into this offseason, we talked on the Silver and Blue ton, Rich, about what were the positions we were most scared about. One was corner because of all the injuries. We didn't know we lost Jordan Lewis. But the other one was defensive tackle. We were about to start the season with Mozzie Smith as the starting defensive tackle and Solomon Thomas, who hasn't proven anything since the 49ers. So we really did not have that defensive tackle in the room to really shore up that group. And now you do. You have a Pro Bowl defensive tackle in Kenny Clark. So you're going to have to make up production for the 12.5 plus sacks that Micah Parsons gives you.
Right.
But let's be real. Last year, the Dallas Cowboys were the 28th ranked defense. It's not like they were a top 5 defense and Micah Parsons was leading a top 5 defense. They were worst in the run. They gave up the second most amount of points in the NFL, and they were ranked 28th in defense. We won't know if this trade worked for the Cowboys or the Packers until probably about week 6 or 7 of this season when we look up and the Cowboys are shutting people down or they can't get any pressure on the quarterback. They got very minimal sacks, and they're getting torched on defense. We won't know.
Right.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, Micah was a Cowboy. We loved him as a Cowboy. But at the end of the day, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, not a Micah Parsons fan.
Right.
So good luck to Micah in Green Bay, but this train going to keep on rolling, and we're Dallas Cowboys for life over here.
Right, and I totally agree. Sometimes as Cowboy fans and just over the years of cheering for your team, you get very caught up in the player's name on the back of the jersey, and you don't want to see them go. You don't want to see them leave your team or get injured and stuff like that. I get that. I love a lot of the Cowboy players. I love CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons. But when you look at Micah Parsons, and look at how we performed over the last couple of years, when we lost to the Packers, Michael Parsons was on that team. When we lost to the 49ers and the Eagles, Michael Parsons was on that team. And if you really look at the stat lines during those games, Michael Parsons was not as effective as he should have been. Now, granted, if we played the Tennessee Titans, the New York Giants, the Bengals, the Panthers, Michael Parsons shows the hell up. Like, he gets sacks and he gets tackles, but against some of the greater competition, he's kind of neutralized a little bit. So when we need him the most, he's not there. So, I mean, that goes back to Jason Garrett as coach. He can win during the regular season, but he cannot win in the playoffs. But again, like you pointed out, we was last in the defense. The last couple of years we had Michael Parsons. We needed him in some big games. Like I said, I don't think he recorded a sack or even breathed on Jordan Love during the playoff game. He didn't touch Brock Purdy during the playoff game. And even the playoff game that we actually did win in Tampa Bay, 2 years ago, he didn't get a sack on Tom Brady until like the third quarter. But if you know, that game was already over before the third and fourth quarter even began. So doing big games and facing top talent on the offensive side of the ball, left tackles, Lane Johnson owned them, Trent Williams owned them. I just don't know what to say. Great pass rusher. We're going to miss him. But looking at some of these other teams and the way they have won Super Bowls the last couple of years, they didn't have a well-known pass rusher. When you look at the Eagles, you think of who? Jalen Carter and the other guy. I forgot his name. And when you think of the Chiefs, you think of Chris Johnson. You don't even know their pass rusher's name. So you can definitely win from the inside. Now, you got to be able to stop the run. Third and 5, what are the teams going to do? Run. They're not passing.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
And teams really did figure out, if you want to neutralize 11, you just run to him.
Right.
And so a lot of teams ran at him. And you bring up the Eagles are a great example. They have a good front 4, front 7. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what the Cowboys need to start doing. They need to start looking at that kind of mode. I hate to say that we got to kind of copycat what the Eagles, but they have built from trades, from drafting. They have brought guys in that fit that mold of, hey, we need to stop the run and we need to get after the quarterback as a group. Now, listen, I hate that Micah is gone, right? I would have loved for 11 to have lined up Philadelphia on Thursday and got after Jalen Hurts and us just be cheering for Micah Parsons, right? But if you're a Cowboy fan, and if you're a Cowboy fan, I need you to pay attention to this. And I come across your TikTok or come across your YouTube short, and you are burning your Micah Parsons jersey, or you are screaming at the camera that you're changing NFL teams because of this one trade. You are, take Cowboy fan out of your bio because you were never a Cowboy. It's okay to be a Micah Parsons fan. Go to Green Bay. He's still playing in the NFL. Change everything in your house to now green and gold and go Packer fan. It's okay. We understand that. Listen, people jump on and jump off of this Cowboy bandwagon all the time. It does not hurt our feelings, right? But we cheer for the guys that have the star on their helmet. And on Thursday, there's going to be 53 guys with stars on their helmet that I'm going to cheer for. I'm not going to watch the Packer game. I don't care what Micah Parsons does in Green Bay. What I care about is, can Ezaraku, can Sam Williams, can Odigizua, can Marshawn Nealon, can those guys go get pressure on Jalen Hurts? Can we stop the run? Because I don't know if y'all know this, but the defending Super Bowl champions are waiting on Thursday with Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts and that monster defense to come beat up on the Cowboys. We need guys to step up. And so if I'm in that locker room Cowboy now, I'm like, okay, one of our guys is gone, our brother is gone. They still got a relationship with that guy. But at the end of the day, when the lights come on and they start the clock, you got to go and get ready to play. And that's what those guys are going to do. And they need Cowboy Nation behind them. So listen, Michael was great at what he did. Don't get me wrong. He was great at what he did. And Cowboy fans that are on the same side, the Cowboy fans getting on here saying, well, Michael was trash and he wasn't very. No, Michael was not trash. He was a great player. If you're not a great player, $47 million a year, trust me. Right. Trust me. Trent Sieg is our long snapper, and he's the best long snapper in the NFL. He ain't getting $47 million. But if you can rush the quarterback or you can throw the football, that's the type of money you get. And Micah got exactly what he wanted. Now, he does have state tax in Wisconsin, and I saw that at the end of the day, he's only going to make about $100,000 or $1 million more than what he would have made if he signed with the Cowboys. But let's think about this. When you are a member of the Dallas Cowboys, that aura behind everything you do means a lot. And it's worth a lot. I'm not saying that his podcast is not going to do well, but when you're part of Cowboy Nation, it means a little bit more than when someone says, oh, I play for the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
I'm just saying it means more. I thought he made a bad business decision asking for the trade. He should have shook Jerry Jones' hands, signed a contract, got paid 5 years, $200+ million, and tried to win a championship with these Cowboys. Right. But now you got to pay Deron Bland. You got to pay George Pickens. Tyler Smith is coming up. You got to pay him. So now they have money to go pay people. And I love what Jerry said at the end of the press conference. He said, we may not be done. We have 4 picks. We could go and trade for another player. We could package. I love to hear that. Be aggressive. Go and help make this team better than what they are right now.
Right. And that's something that I actually loved as well. Like when you look at the deal and you look at all the details, yeah, we got Kenny Clark and stuff like that, but we saved a lot of money by not signing Micah Parsons. And when you look at the team overall, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs, Micah Parsons, this group has been together for quite a long time. And we haven't really been getting the results that we expected. So, and a lot of people talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and they always include the word insanity. And we know what that is. Keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So why would we continue to bring back the same players and overpay these people and keep getting the same results? So why? You know why? Because fans want to continue to laugh at the Dallas Cowboys years from now when 2 or 3 years from now, Micah Parsons is one of the highest paid people, and he's still not producing, even though we knew that 3-4 years prior that he kind of like, he's good. He's great. He's a great player. But the production really ain't matching when we need it the most. So I'm happy that we was able to save the money that we did with Micah Parsons. And also we now have the second most cap space in the NFL. Like we can go out and Micah Parsons is worth 3-4 players. And if you know you wasn't going to be any better with him on the defensive side of the ball, why not try to go out and get some other pieces around him? Because before he got the big head, he said he didn't really want the highest paid money. He wanted other people around him so the team could get a little bit better. When you think of wanting players around you so the overall team can win the Super Bowl, you think of Tom Brady. Tom Brady dominated, and he never was the highest paid quarterback on the team or in the NFL. But the man got 6 championships. And you could barely even name the people that was around him outside of Gronk and Julian Edelman. The man had pieces to make him get to the next level and win that Super Bowl. I thought we was going to get that with Micah Parsons, but end of the day, money is money. He wanted the money. He got his money. Good for him. Good luck. But the Cowboy Nation, the Cowboys, got to keep rolling. A lot of people are hating Jerry Jones, but I'm like, finally, Jerry Jones has been really aggressive these last couple months, going to get George Pickens, signing some free agents, and now we trade Micah Parsons, and then we might be able to go out and continue to get some more pieces. I mean, I like that. I don't get why people hate Jerry Jones so much. I don't understand it.
Obviously, you know, when you haven't been to a championship in 30 years, you know, we're going to blame the owner, right? Mm-hmm. But last time I checked, when I looked up Jerry Jones' stats, he hadn't dropped a pass yet. He ain't missed a blocking assignment. He ain't thrown an interception. But if you look at this and no, listen, if you don't think the Cowboys have had some of the most talented teams in the NFL, they just have not produced when it matters, right? They've made it to the playoffs. At one point, Tony Romo, the golden child of the Dallas Cowboys, had a first-round bye. He was the best team in the NFC and then gets beat by the lowly Giants in the playoffs. The catch by Des Bryant that people still don't understand was a catch. Like, that team was very, very good. One play right there. DeMarco Murray fumbling the ball in that Green Bay game. If he doesn't fumble that football, we beat the Packers by 10 points, and we're on to the NFC Championship game. Listen, football is the ultimate, and I love that Shotty said this. Football is the ultimate team sport. Not one player is going to win us a championship. We need 69 people, right? 53 on this team and all the practice squad guys. We need these guys to help us win. Now, that's the guy I really feel sorry for is Schottenheimer, right? Mm-hmm. It's his first year as a head coach. He's had to deal with this all off season. And I just commend the man for how he has dealt with this. The positive attitude he's had, he's kept trucking along. All the nonsense he's had to deal with the Micah Parsons trade, he's took it in stride and made it positive for his football team. And now it's when it's going to matter, when it's time to lace them up, when it counts, going up against Philadelphia in week 1.
Right. And you bring up the coach as well. I just love that for once we actually maybe see a culture change in the Cowboys locker room with him and also maybe Jerry. For once, maybe the coach and the owner and the GM are actually on the same page, because in years past, I felt that Micah Parsons type situation probably would have bled into the season, because it wasn't really a distraction until Micah Parsons made it a distraction when he didn't like go to camp and stuff like that. So it was really him that actually started it. But overall, I mean, I actually like the trade. The trade as a Cowboys fan, like I said, freed up some space. We actually got a freaking defensive tackle. Maybe we can get off the field on 3rd and 5 when the team try to run the ball and we actually stuff them for once. Like Micah, I like him, but I also like the trade that we made, and I also like the fact that we have more room to get more players on our squad, because we can't keep overpaying these players. We just can't do it. At some point, you got to draw sand in the line. Like, just got to stop doing it. Insanity.
Yep.
Like, and you know what? To be honest, a lot of people say Jerry doesn't pay his players. That's kind of the opposite. Jerry pays everybody. He traded Micah Parsons, and he still got money. Like, as a player, you should want to go play for the Cowboys, even if you guys have a contract dispute. You know, Jerry's going to trade you to a team to where you're going to get your money. Like, exactly. Name a player that Jerry hasn't paid.
And this whole thing of why didn't he involve the agent? That's how Jerry Jones works. Right. Go back and listen to the Tony Romo story. They signed Tony Romo to an extension before the game, agreed to an extension, sat him down. Jerry Jones, Bill Parcells, and Tony Romo in the room, and Tony Romo called their bluff and said, "You're gonna pay what I deserve to get." And Jerry Jones agreed and paid him.
Right.
He paid DeMarcus Lawrence twice. CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Dez Bryant. He paid all of these guys their money. Right. Trayvon Diggs. Look at the guys on this roster right now that he's paid. Oh, Diggy Zua. I mean, it's not like, listen, Jerry Jones is not shipping out all pros. He's not to other teams. That's just not his MO. He loves his players, and he loves to have people on the Dallas Cowboys. Now, does Jerry Jones love the drama? Yes. Listen, this was perfect for Jerry Jones. The Netflix series comes out, which, by the way, I couldn't stand. I hated it. The Netflix series comes out, press. The Micah Parsons drama, press. Mm-hmm. He is loving this. But at the end of the day, there is one thing you cannot confuse Jerry Jones with. He bleeds silver and blue. He is a Dallas Cowboy for life.
Right.
And he's not changing who he is. He's not going to change the way he works. He don't care what anybody says. I have disagreed with Jerry Jones a ton. Thought he dealt with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Still think he did. Still think he should have paid them way earlier. Paying him. Thought he should have paid Micah Parsons. Then we find out he did offer Micah Parsons a contract. Just like Micah said after the end of the season last year, I don't need to be the highest paid player.
Right.
What's the difference between 30 and 40 million? I need y'all to build players around me. Then all of a sudden it became I want to be the highest paid player.
Right.
At the end of the day, I agree 100% with Rich. Love the trade. Made us instantly better on defense. I think it made us better. Now we'll wait and see. Right. But then also the capital that we have with draft capital and free agency with the cap space that we have makes this team even more dangerous. Maybe not this year, but in building with this year. You still got Dak Prescott for a couple more years. You just signed CeeDee Lamb. Hopefully you can sign George Pickens and we can start building something to be successful for years to come. And you weren't doing that paying Micah $7 million.
Right. And one last thing before we hop into week one prediction. If I was to blame Jerry for anything regarding this trade, it would probably be just the timing of it. It seemed like in his press conference, he said that this kind of was like the plan for like a few months. Now, Jerry, if that really is true, then you probably should have maybe traded Micah Parsons around draft time, maybe before like beginning of the training camp, when maybe more teams could have hopped into the negotiations, and maybe you could have got like higher first round picks, because the Packers, unless they just totally just bottom out, I mean, those picks are going to be pretty late, maybe mid to late first rounders. I mean, I'd take them regardless, but either way, you could have opened it up a little bit earlier.
You got Micah Parsons in the middle of the draft. Right. I mean, listen, this is not the NBA, right? Mm-hmm. You are going to find great players in that first round. There are people every single year in the NFL that have first round grades that make it to the second round. It's just how it works, right? It's about building what fits your team, and that's what they have to do. And so there aren't a lot of teams that could have afforded Micah Parsons, first of all. There are a lot of teams that are getting dollars. The Packers just happened to be one of them. They were They felt they needed a pass rusher, and they do. They needed a pass. They have not had a good rush player for a long time, and they needed that guy to get off the edge. Now, I also think this hurts them a little bit, Kenny Clark in the middle, because he's a monster. He kind of like Chris Jones in Kansas City, where you look at him and it's like, you need a guy that kind of just stuffs the middle and forces teams to make different decisions. So We'll see. We're going to find out. Obviously, week 1, we're going to find out really quick.
Yeah, I can't wait. Love the trade. Thank you, Jerry Jones, for doing what you do, man. And we'll find out in a couple of years. We'll know if it's going to work out for the Packers within the first couple of weeks. I mean, obviously for the Cowboys, we want to know if this trade package is going to be worked out in maybe another 2 to 3 years. But one last thing, I do need people to stop disrespecting, and we don't really talk about other teams, but stop disrespecting the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. The Lions won that division last year. Obviously, this trade is going to make the Packers a lot better. But however, the Packers barely made the playoffs last year. And you had Detroit up there just running the table. It's not a lock that Green Bay is going to run to the top of the division all of a sudden after this trade, because you still got the Detroit Lions in that division. Everybody's forgetting about them. And I'm like, wait a minute. I looked at everyone's like, yo, the Packers are going to win that division. I looked at it. I was like, wait a minute. Aren't the Lions and Vikings is in that division? And the Lions won it. So slow your roll, Packer fans. Slow your roll. Okay. But football is back, man, officially on Thursday night, because the first game is going to be the Cowboys and the Eagles. I'm excited. I've been waiting for this game. I mean, I love our offensive firepower that we're going to bring to Philly this year. Philly's defense has always been kind of shaky to me a little bit. It's like a boom and bust. It's great, but they can be beat fairly easy. And we got Dak Prescott, who over the last couple of years have actually been owning the Philadelphia Eagles in their secondary. So I expect another strong performance from Dak Prescott. If we are able to limit the turnovers on offense and able to get 7 points versus 3 points and get the Eagles on their heels and force Jalen Hurts to become a passer, I think we're going to win that game. And I think we're actually going to win the game. It's going to be a close win. It ain't going to be no shootout. I think the Cowboys win that game. But give me your thoughts and predictions on what the Cowboys need to do to upset the Super Bowl champions come Thursday.
Yeah, I think obviously you hit the nail on the head, right? Like, you got to get 7 instead of 3. Like, this is so crucial versus a good football team. This is not Philly from 3-4 years ago, right? This team built in the trenches. They have the best offensive line in football. They have the best defensive line in football. So you have to find a way first to protect Dak Prescott, and then you got to find your rushing. Things I'm going to be looking for right off the Then, at the end of the day, Dak Prescott has to protect the football, and he has to find his weapons. Just like Rich said, when you get down into that red zone, you got to find a way to put the ball in the end zone. Yes, we have the best kicker in the NFL. Once you get to me, you get points. At that point, I know we got points, right? If you don't turn the ball over, you're getting at least 3. This team has to find a way this year to get 7. Brandon Aubrey was the best kicker in football last year. He amassed points for the Dallas Cowboys. Way too much. Way too many field goals. He needs extra points. He needs to be around that 115, 120 range where he's kicking extra points and he ain't kicking field goals. Secondly, how do you deal with this offense for the Eagles? You got the best running back in Saquon Barkley running behind that great offensive line. So we got to find a way to stop the run. Now, both Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are both questionable for this.
Really?
So I don't know if either one of those, I know A.J. Brown at one point, they were thinking that he was not going to play, but he's kind of been upgraded. He was graded out. Now he's graded as questionable. If they're missing those two guys, this becomes instantly an easier game for the Cowboys. I won't say it's an automatic win. It's definitely a game if those two of the best wide receivers in the NFL. But when you look at the Cowboys, they are short in the secondary. They have guys that are not proven that are going to have to play big minutes for this Cowboys defense. Linebacker, I still don't understand what we're doing at linebacker. Do we have the guys that can stop the run? And then this front four, you lost Micah Parsons this week. So now Ezaraku, Sam Williams, those guys got to step up. Marshawn Knee, Odigizua, Mozzie Smith, Solomon Thomas. Obviously, Kenny Clark coming over is going to play a big role. Mm-hmm. It's going to come down to what defense can stop these offenses. Because when you look at the Cowboys offense, I expect this offense to put up 25, 30 points a game. That's what this offense is built for. Dak Prescott, except when he had Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and Ezekiel Elliott, he has not had this type of offense around him. Now, we don't know what George Pickens is going to give us, right? We know what he was in Pittsburgh, but what's he going to do in Dallas? Everybody is raving about these two, CeeDee and George Pickens. You can't double team them. Are we going to get Jake Ferguson from 2 years ago, or are we going to get Jake last year? If we get Jake Ferguson from 2 years ago with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, this is a dangerous offense. And then this running back by committee. There's one running back in this group that really wants to play really, really well, and his name is Miles Sanders. He wants nothing more than to rush for 100-plus yards against his Philadelphia team. It's going to be difficult because his defense does not give up rushing. Right. I listen, I picked a long time ago that this was the L. It's the Eagles banner raising night. They're going to raise their Super Bowl banner. Mm-hmm. They're going to be pumped up in Philadelphia. They hate the Dallas Cowboys. I hate picking against my Cowboys. And I made a TikTok that said this was an L. But if they do not have those two wide receivers, this is a W for the Dallas Cowboys. If only one of those players play, it's a W for the Dallas Cowboys. If both of them play, it's still a W for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm picking the Cowboys and ruin Super Bowl championship night with the Philadelphia Eagles. Dak Prescott is back on a revenge tour. He's been bashed in the media about how he wasn't a good quarterback. He's not top 10. He should have won the MVP 2 years ago. This is revenge tour for Dak Prescott. He's going to throw for 3+ yards, 3 touchdowns. And the Cowboys beat the Philadelphia Eagles 27-21.
I love it. I love it. What a great way to start off the NFL season. I love it with the W. And what you said was very, very true. I didn't even know that A.J. Brown over Devontae Smith was kind of questionable. But given those two situations, which one would you prefer to actually play? I would probably say maybe Devontae.
I have been a huge advocate that I think Devontae Smith is the best wide receiver on that team. Now, listen, A.J. Brown is an amazing player, right? If A.J. Brown is on the Dallas Cowboys with CeeDee Lamb, this team is Super Bowl bound, right? A.J. Brown is that type of dude, right? Let's be real, right? They call him Batman for a reason. He is really the Dark Knight. He is amazing at wide receiver.
Right.
And I loved him when he was on Tennessee.
Same.
I hate him that he's on Philadelphia. But if A.J. Brown does not play, this is instantly an easier game because now you can roll coverages and kind of help out on Devontae Smith. If A.J. Brown is playing, you have to have two people on him, eyeing him at all times. He is, to me, now he hasn't had that type of career, same style of player as Dez Bryant. Mm-hmm. When the football is in the air, that football belongs to him, and you got to find a way to stop the football going to him. Because once they start throwing to him and he gets comfortable and he catches that football, he's a monster to do. And you know, Jalen Hurts gets a lot of hate too. He's a real quiet quarterback. He's not that flashy guy in the media. He's that way on the sideline. He's been that way since he was in high school. You know, playing here in the state of Texas. He's just a reserved kind of guy.
But I do think there's a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts this year. He has to continue
a ton. And that's what I was going to say is that reserved nature of him could come and really bite him this year. Mm-hmm. Because after you win a Super Bowl, right, the pressure on you to perform at that same level is tremendous. And if you're going to be the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles after you win the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia fans are not going to give him any leeway, right? Those fans aren't going to sit up there and go, well, he won. If he throws a couple picks, we're good. He makes a mistake in this Cowboy game, and those boo birds are coming out early.
Right.
And so if I'm the Cowboys, you got to get after Jalen Hurts. And you have to hold this team. We talked about 3rd and 5 getting off the field. We can't let the Philadelphia Eagles get into 3rd and 5. Because at 3rd and 5, they feel they still have 2 downs with the brotherly shove, the push, tush, whatever they call it.
Right.
And so all they got to do is get within 3 yards of first down, and they feel they got a first down. So the Cowboys defense is up against it the very first week, and they're going to get tested early. And so I want to see. Now, it's kind of a good thing that Micah hasn't been here preseason or training camp, because he hasn't been reps from any of these guys. All these guys have gotten all the reps with the first team. So Sam Williams is a starter, right? Marshawn Nealon, he's going to get starting reps. Ezra Raku's going to play a big role. Odighi's, these guys have been first team. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Can we stop the run? Can we get after Jalen Hurts? But I'm taking the Cowboys in this one.
And I agree with you about Jalen Hurts, because he won the Super Bowl, but guess who also won the Super Bowl as an Eagle and the quarterback? Nick Foles. So now you kind of in that same range where Jalen won the quarterback, but also Nick Foles the quarterback. So who's really the better NFL Philadelphia quarterback? I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Jalen to repeat or at least do better than what he did before, because when you look at the Eagles, no one is really afraid of Jalen Hurts. They're probably more afraid of Saquon Barkley than anything, and probably Jalen Carter. No one, if you're going to be the Eagles, they always say we want Jalen Hurts to be a passer. And sometimes he don't really make those passes all game long. He'll make a few here and there after Saquon break off a few runs or give him a few touchdowns or whatever. But if you make him a dedicated passer for the whole game, that's kind of where he gets in a little bit of trouble. And that's where A.J. Brown gets a little heated, and, he's not getting the ball. He's not throwing it the right way. But I think if the Cowboys make him a passer for the whole game, I like our chances. I love our chances against Jalen Hurts. I mean, 2 years ago, they wanted to trade a man after they lost to the Buccaneers in the playoffs. And they happened to luck up and win the Super Bowl the year after that. But let's not forget, y'all wanted to fire Nick Sirianni, and y'all wanted to trade Jalen Hurts. Luckily, y'all just got blessed.
They got a really, really good defense. Yeah. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting, because that Cowboy offense is I hate that they didn't play in the preseason, but the way Dak Prescott is talking, that this team is going to be dangerous on the offensive side of football. We'll see on Thursday. And, of course, we got to start with the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, the Eagles got to play first, but you got to start with the Cowboys. And if you don't think the Cowboys are America's team, you got to stop breathing the same air as everybody else. Because when the Cowboys play, everybody watches. Whether it's hopefully they win or hoping that they lose, everybody watches. They are the most expensive franchise in all of sports, not in all of the NFL, in all of sports. They are worth more money than anybody else in a championship in 30 years. That tells you something. More people tune in when the Cowboys play. And sure, a lot of that is because they hope the Cowboys lose, so they get onto their little social media and Cowboys on Sunday and Monday.
Right.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. Either way, America's team is going to be kicking off the NFL season just the way it should be. The Dallas Cowboys, the number one draw in the nation, is going to get the ratings, a good head start on the NFL season. And we playing against Philadelphia Eagles, our division rival. So I can't wait for that. I'm definitely going with the Cowboys with the dub. I have my popcorn ready. It's been a great summer for the Cowboys, off-season, Netflix special. I watched a few episodes. I got to finish watching that. We're going to probably have to have a podcast about that particular documentary once Mike gets back. But I'm just happy football is back. And I'm happy that we get to start off with the Cowboys. I ain't got to wait till Sunday to see a Cowboy game. I get to see a Cowboy game right off the bat on Thursday. So even if we do happen to take an L, I got a few days before the other games take off, and I can laugh at y'all team on Sunday and Monday, because everyone will have forgotten that the Cowboys lost on Thursday. So I'm good with the early games. I'm good. But that is the Silver and Blue Huddle, man. Micah Parsons, Week 1 Cowboys prediction. Cowboys over the Eagles. Make sure you guys follow my man, Expert Corner, Father Rich Black Man. Turn on your notifications. He's on YouTube. He's on Twitch. He's on TikTok. He's everywhere you think he's not. The man would go to Mars if they allow streaming up there as well. So make sure you guys follow us, man. Tune in. We got a lot of Cowboy fans on the channel now. So make sure you guys comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications. And Silver and Blue, we about to be here every single week once NFL kicks off. We about to be here every single week, giving you guys the most about the Dallas Cowboys and our path to championship number 6. So I'm gonna sit in cap and say it's still our year, but that's just how I'm going to say. But Silver and Blue Huddle will catch you guys. Anything else you want to say?
No,
right.
let's go. It's Cowboys season, 17-0, baby.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys on next episode. Peace out.